Jesse Owens was more than an Olympic champion. He was a symbol of courage, dignity, and excellence in the face of hatred. Rising from poverty in the segregated American South, Owens became one of the greatest athletes of all time. His historic performance at the 1936 Berlin Olympics challenged Nazi ideology, shattered racial myths, and left a legacy that continues to inspire generations around the world. Early life and childhood. James Cleveland Owens, later known as Jesse Owens, was born on September 12, 1913, in Oakville, Alabama. He was the youngest of 10 children born to Henry and Emma Owens, sharecroppers who struggled to make a living in the deeply segregated South. Like many African American families of the era, the Owens family faced severe poverty and limited opportunities. When Jesse was 8 years old, his family joined the Great Migration, moving north to Cleveland, Ohio, in search of better work and safer living conditions. It was there that Jesse's life began to change. On his first day of school, a teacher misunderstood his southern accent when he said his name was JC and began calling him Jesse. The name stuck for the rest of his life. Jesse discovered his love for running while attending Fairmount Junior High School. Despite working part-time jobs to help support his family, he found time to train and compete in track events. His speed quickly caught the attention of his coaches, who recognized that Jesse possessed extraordinary natural talent. High school stardom. At East Technical High School in Cleveland, Jesse Owens emerged as one of the most promising young athletes in the nation. Under the guidance of track coach Charles Riley, he developed discipline, technique, and confidence. Owens set several national high school records, including a world record in the 100-yard dash. Despite his athletic success, Owens continued to face racial discrimination. He was not allowed to eat with white teammates at restaurants and often stayed in separate accommodations during competitions. These experiences shaped his understanding of the racial inequalities that existed both on and off the track. Still, Owens remained focused. His talent earned him national recognition and opened doors to opportunities that few black athletes of his generation could access. Ohio State University and athletic breakthrough. In 1933, Jesse Owens enrolled at Ohio State University. Though he competed for the school, racial segregation meant he was not granted an athletic scholarship. Owens worked multiple jobs to pay for housing and food while continuing his training. It was during his college years that Owens achieved one of the most remarkable feats in sports history. On May 25, 1935, at the Big Ten Championships in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Owens set 4 world records in a single day and tied a 5th, all within 45 minutes. This performance included records in the 100-yard dash, 220-yard dash, long jump, and 220-yard low hurdles. Sports historians often refer to this as the greatest day in track and field history. Jesse Owens had proven himself not just as a talented athlete, but as a once-in-a-generation phenomenon. The road to the 1936 Olympics. As the 1936 Olympic Games approached, they became heavily politicized. Adolf Hitler's Nazi regime intended to use the Berlin Olympics as propaganda to promote the idea of Aryan racial superiority. Many questioned whether the United States should even participate. Despite the controversy, Jesse Owens earned his place on the U.S. Olympic team. As a black athlete, he traveled to Germany fully aware that his presence alone challenged Nazi ideology. Yet Owens was determined to compete, not as a political statement, but as an athlete seeking excellence. Triumph in Berlin. At the 1936 Berlin Olympics, Jesse Owens delivered one of the greatest performances in Olympic history. Over the course of the Games, he won 4 gold medals: 100 meters, 200 meters, long jump, 4 by 100 meter relay. Each victory directly contradicted Nazi claims of racial superiority. Owens became the most successful athlete at the Games, earning international admiration and respect. One of the most famous moments of the Olympics occurred during the long jump competition, where Owens befriended German athlete Luz Long. Long offered Owens advice that helped him qualify for the finals, and the two publicly congratulated each other, an act of sportsmanship that defied the hatred promoted by the Nazi regime. While it is often said that Hitler refused to shake Owens' hand, Owens later clarified that he was never personally snubbed by Hitler. Instead, Owens noted that upon returning to the United States, he faced far greater discrimination at home. Returning to America. A harsh reality. Despite his Olympic triumph, Jesse Owens returned to a segregated America. that did not fully embrace him. He was celebrated with parades and ceremonies, but he was still denied many basic rights afforded to white citizens. Owens was not invited to the White House, nor did he receive a congratulatory message from President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He struggled to find stable employment and was forced to race against horses and motorcycles in exhibition events just to earn money. Owens once remarked that while he had received praise overseas, he was treated as a second-class citizen in his own country. Life after athletics. After retiring from competitive track, Jesse Owens worked various jobs, including as a public speaker, youth mentor, and public relations representative. He used his fame to promote sports, education, and racial understanding. Although financial struggles followed him for years, Owens remained resilient. He believed deeply in the power of self-discipline and personal responsibility, often emphasizing that success came from preparation and hard work. Over time, public recognition of his achievements grew. He became a respected figure in American sports history and civil rights discussions. Views on race and society. Jesse Owens held complex views on race relations. While he opposed racism, he also believed strongly in individual effort and discipline. Some of his opinions were controversial, particularly during the civil rights movement of the 1960s, when younger activists pushed for more radical change. Despite differing viewpoints, Owens consistently advocated for dignity, opportunity, and fairness. He believed that sports could serve as a bridge between people of different backgrounds and cultures. Honors and recognition. Later in life, Jesse Owens finally received the recognition he deserved. In 1976, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Gerald Ford, the highest civilian honor in the United States. Numerous schools, streets, awards, and athletic facilities have been named in his honor. His achievements are studied not only for their athletic excellence, but also for their historical and cultural significance. Personal life. Jesse Owens married Minnie Ruth Solomon in 1935, and the couple had 3 daughters. Despite fame and recognition, Owens lived a relatively private life, devoted to his family and community work. He remained involved in youth sports programs and continued to speak publicly about perseverance, humility, and the importance of opportunity. Final years and death. In his later years, Owens faced health challenges, including lung cancer. On March 31, 1980, Jesse Owens passed away at the age of 66 in Tucson, Arizona. His death marked the loss of not just a legendary athlete, but a man whose life represented the struggle and promise of America. Legacy and impact. Jesse Owens' legacy extends far beyond medals and records. His performance at the 1936 Olympics remains one of the most powerful moments in sports history, a moment when talent, dignity, and determination triumphed over hatred and ideology. He inspired generations of athletes and helped pave the way for greater inclusion and equality in sports. Owens proved that excellence knows no race, no borders, and no limits. Conclusion. Jesse Owens rose from poverty and prejudice to become one of the greatest athletes the world has ever known. His victories challenged racism on a global stage and exposed the contradictions of freedom and equality in America. Through speed, strength, and quiet courage, Jesse Owens didn't just win races, he changed history.